Fallout 4, XCOM 2, and the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection. We're gonna cover all that and more right here on Newstoid.
Newstoid. With Jess and Jed.
Hang on to your tentacles.
It's Newstoid time!
So this week they announced the game that everyone's been waiting for.
Oh, by the way, I'm Jess and this is Jed.
Yeah, I'm Jed. I'm a
And
squid.
Jed made me do the Splatoon thing.
I did not. She wanted to.
I didn't know what it was.
She's a liar. Anyways, this week, Fallout 4 was announced, and everyone was really happy about that. That's the picture of it. People say that it's not good looking or something.
Did they say that?
Yeah, they did, but it looked like the graphics. They're like, oh, the graphics aren't the best. But if you compare it side by side to Fallout 3, Fallout 3 looks like my grandpa's like old shriveled balls, like just terrible.
You've seen your grandpa's balls. Let's have that conversation later. But I thought Fallout 4 looked really good. I mean, I watched the trailer, and of course, I'm gonna get hyped because I love Fallout.
Yeah, and Bethesda make awesome games. They might
really
have some
do.
bugs, but you know what? It's a giant game, typically. So there's gonna be some bugs. I'll give them a little pass on that. Plus, there's a dog, and dogs are totally in.
Yeah.
I mean, Call of Duty had it, and then like everyone has to have a dog.
Everyone's doing
Fallout had
dogs
it
now.
first, though, right? Fallout 3 had a dog, right?
I think so.
Fable 2 had a dog, didn't it?
I don't remember.
Dogs are in.
Dogs are in video games. So Bethesda will be announcing more about Fallout 4 at their kind of E3 press conference type event. I think it's June 14th, sometime during E3, so watch that if you want to see more about the game.
Yeah, I hope that I'm there. I don't know. I'll be at E3. Speaking of new games...
XCOM 2. So the last edition of Newstoid we covered Advent, which was the code name for 2K's next AAA title. And, you know, funny enough, when we saw the teaser image, or the teaser GIF, I believe it was, Jed immediately goes, now that looks like XCOM, and it turns out you were exactly correct.
I'm always right.
Apparently.
I've never been wrong.
No, apparently not. So, yeah, so that turned out to be XCOM 2. What about that? It takes place in the year 2035, you know, post-apocalyptic, all that junk. And it's apparently going to be released this November, which is surprising because, you know, the trend nowadays is to announce a game and then say, okay, well, we'll give you more about that in 2 years.
Right. Milk it, milk it, milk it. Pre-orders now, though. They're open.
Exactly. Oh, and then also there's all this DLC that we've already announced that we haven't begun working on, but we're going to charge you for it. So it's kind of refreshing and surprising to see that 2K is just now announcing a game that they're already going to be releasing in, what, 4 months now?
Yeah. The rumor about Fallout is that it's going to be released this year, too, but we'll see. I mean, the trailer was in-game, so... or in-engine, so...
Okay.
And there's all kinds of like new games being announced, such as Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection for PS4, which is going to have the 3 original Uncharted games, and also multiplayer beta for Uncharted 4.
Oh, okay.
So that's exciting.
That is exciting.
I have dabbled in the games. I haven't ever beat them though.
Same. I got the whatever collection came out for the. I think it was the Greatest Hits collection or whatever for the PS3 that had. You know,
like,
all 3 games. Yeah, all of them, just for the PS3 instead of obviously this one's for the PS4. And I think I played the first one, beat it, played the second one, and then got busy and never finished it.
Yeah,
but
was the second one the one with the train? I just remember the train scene.
I don't remember. I just remember him like Nathan Drake leaping up cliffs and being an acrobat. And
he's fat in multiplayer. You eat donuts, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Those were good games, but they're not standout games in my mind. You know, a solid series, but not a groundbreaking one.
Oh, they're gonna hate you in the comments.
I know. Next up, we have a couple of Steam news. So first of all, Steam is now offering refunds.
Return all the games.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Who needs them? Get rid of them.
Yeah.
Beat them in 2 hours. Take them back.
Well, but actually, that's the caveat. Well, yeah, because that is the caveat, is you can request a refund for nearly any purchase on Steam. The only catch is that it has to be within 2 weeks of purchasing the game, and you have to have less than 2 hours of playtime. So if you purchase game, play for an hour, decide you don't like it, that's a valid reason. You can request a refund for that. If you accidentally buy a game somehow, you know, bunch of misclicks. I know.
I didn't mean to buy Bad Rats.
Yeah, like, you know, or just for whatever reason, or maybe you play a game and figure out it's your PC is not good enough to run it.
Any reason.
Literally any reason you can request a refund. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then another interesting thing that happened on Steam is that the Steam controller got announced, and the concept here is just that it lets you play any Steam game, supposedly even the ones that you couldn't really use a controller for.
Yeah, I've actually used it a couple of times. I used like an old iteration, and then I used the basically the retail version at PAX East, and it really like lets you like use the right touchpad, similar to what it would feel like to use a mouse. So it's really, I feel like for me, because I pre-ordered one today. They went up for pre-order. If you pre-order and you get them in October, a little bit early, they're supposed to be releasing retail in November.
Well, they have a limited release on October 16th.
Right, which is why I like pre-ordered mine like right away.
Did you get in for that?
I guess I paid for it.
Then I guess you're getting yours.
But yeah, it's really good for like mouse-based games, and I feel like I'm gonna use it personally as like a replacement for a mouse on those kind of games.
Okay. Well, and you're not much of a PC gamer to begin with, so maybe this will.
Yeah, a little bit.
Do you think this will get you to play more PC games?
Maybe. I mean, I've been slowly slipping the PC because, you know, better graphics and just more variety of indie games, because AAA is just kind of, well, feeling very, you know, dull recently. But yeah, I think I'm going to use that as like my mouse kind of games, and then I'll probably still use like a 360 controller because I'm just used to it for the other games. So.
Well, anyway, for those of you who didn't get in on the pre-order train for the Steam controller, it releases for everyone else on November 10th and will retail at $50.
And Steam machines are up for sale too.
Oh yeah. And
they're like, I think they start at like $4.49, and there's Alienware and a couple other manufacturers making them. They range.
The Alienware Alpha.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and Steam Link, which lets you stream your Steam games to a TV if you have a computer in your house and you can stream the games there. So that's nice. So you don't have to drag your big-ass desktop into your living room.
All kinds of new technology.
And speaking of digital distribution,
yay!
GOG!
So, GOG.com is currently having their summer sale, and, you know, their shtick is that they're always DRM-free. The sale is working very similarly to the way that Steam always does their sales. They're doing kind of a rotating series of deals. Some games are up to 90% off, and they've got bundles, and they are doing 2 new deals every day. So it's every 12 hours there's a new set of deals, so you can just spend all of your money on GOG.com.
Tons of money. Did you buy anything?
Not yet.
I didn't, because it's not Steam.
But even so, you know, and I kind of hadn't been paying attention to GOG.com for the past probably 2 years, and I very slightly poked around today, and they have so many games.
They do.
I remember
they just brought out a client too. It's called like the GOG Galaxy that lets you basically works like Steam. So maybe I should check it out.
I am definitely going to. It's crazy. I just remember a couple years ago when they had, you know, maybe Wasteland or whatever the original Fallout game was called, and like 2 other games. I just remember them having like The Witcher, I think. Yeah. They had like 5 games total, and now they have everything.
Right.
Crazy.
So speaking of games, we're just gonna speak
because we haven't been talking about games.
Right.
So far.
Have you guys heard of this? It's called Heroes of the Storm. I'm sure you have. It's the hot new MOBA from Blizzard. You know, they made like Warcraft and Diablo or whatever. You know, who plays those, right?
WoW, tiny
Hearthstone that I haven't spent like $300 on. It's my mom's credit card. But yeah, Heroes of the Storm is officially out now. You can go download it. We have a review up of it. I like it. Personally, I like it a lot because it takes out all the guesswork as far as like buying items and things. Yep. And it drops a lot of the math, because that's the thing I don't like about MOBAs. I don't like to have to think like, what percentage do I need of this and this and this? It's just boom, 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 and I can just keep going, and it's easier and simpler. And that works for me. It might not work for you.
Yeah, and I mean, I am a MOBA player. I'm obviously very into Dota 2, but I've been finding myself enjoying Heroes of the Storm as well.
And you can get a unicorn mount, so...
Yeah, exactly, so that's really cool.
It's like $20, but it's worth it.
That sounds totally worth it. Have you bought the unicorn mount?
No, I'm too poor.
I've seen it.
I'm too poor, I want it. Hit me up, Blizzard.
Alright, well, now is it time for the Game of the Week?
Game of the Week.
Alright.
The sacred segment of the show.
Yep, as you guys know, each week Jed and I... on 3, we say what we think the game of the week was, and this doesn't necessarily have to be a game that was released this week. It can be whatever game we're into this week. So, ready? On 3, 3, 2, 1.
Splatoon!
You said Splatoon like every week.
It's gonna be Splatoon forever. Okay. I mean, look at this. Look, I got my fucking amiibos. Amiibo, actually. It's amiibo. And I even got the squid. that you can't get in Europe unless you're me and stole a lorry.
That's right.
Which they're awesome. You unlock extra levels. Well, not extra levels. It's the same levels from the single player, only with different weapons. So the girl gives you I believe she gives you like the shotgun, and the boy gives you the roller. But the squid gives you the best level, so it sucks for you UK people because you can play as the Kraken squid and like go through the levels really fast, and it's a lot of fun. Like that, the other two not as fun. Squid really fun.
I feel like you could start a competitive Splatoon team. You know,
have you considered
going pro?
I have been playing a lot, and I haven't been able to play a lot of ranked because I was grinding all the amiibo levels.
Of course.
But when I have played, I usually come out like 300 points ahead of everyone. So. I'm good. Hit me up, Team Solo Mid. By the way, this shirt, in case you haven't noticed, is the shirt from the Splatoon that the girl's wearing. You can see it on the amiibo, but it's like they actually have the detail behind the gun. You can like barely see it.
Where's your gun? Because clearly you are cosplaying.
I'm anti-gun, so I don't have one.
Okay, who's this? What's her name?
Her name is Squid Kid.
Squid Kid.
This is also Squid Kid.
Well, that's just confusing.
They don't really have real names. They're squids, they're kids, and then they're kids now, and then they're squids now.
Well, my game of the week was Fallout 4 because I think it looks amazing, and it was announced this week.
Let me just say...
I probably have less to say about Fallout 4 than you have about Splatoon.
Squids greater than dogs.
Apparently. Well, I guess that about wraps it up, right?
Yeah, so as always,
be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. YouTube.com/Dtoid. You can follow Jed on Twitter at Jed05. You can follow me at Jess Brohard. And is it time to...
As always, stay fresh! We did it! We're Splatooners.